The moment that I decided to stop dieting, to stop tracking my food, to stop weighing my food, to stop measuring my food, was the moment that I stopped thinking about food all day long, was the moment that I was able to actually get back in tune with my hunger and fullness cues, have less anxiety around food, actually trust myself around all foods, and just eat like a normal person again. So I want to share my journey of really transitioning out of tracking calories and macros and into intuitive eating, and what that looked like, and what the moment really was when I decided like it was really time to stop tracking and to actually eat intuitively. So I tracked my food for years. Like, I've always been on a diet since a very young age. I grew up competitively dancing, and, it was always like, the smaller you can be, the better. And, oh, my old client, hey Jenny, so good to have you on. So I grew up as a competitive dancer, and it was always like, the smaller you are, the better, and like eat less and like work out more. Like, that's all I really knew. And so I started dieting at a very young age. Like, I was in grade 8, I got called fat, and my dieting history essentially began when I was in grade 8. And hey Brooke, and I started with meal plans. And I was like, oh, like, cool, just like tell me what to eat, and like I can reach my goals. Like, this is amazing. And I started, doing these meal plans. And then when I realized like that wasn't sustainable at all, and I heard about like macro tracking, I'm like, this is not a diet. I'm like, I can realistically eat whatever I want as long as it fits my macros. And so I was like, oh, like this is cool. Like, I don't have to really like diet. I don't have to follow a meal plan. Like, I can choose to eat whatever I want as long as it fits my macros. I'm like, this is amazing. And so I started tracking my food and weighing my food, and I would see everyone on social media at the time that I was tracking calories and macros, everyone was doing it. And I remember like these people making posts about like how easy it is to just like stick to their macros. And, oh, it's so easy to just like, oh, stuck to my macros. Oh, I hit my carbs, protein, and fat today. And I'm looking at them like, what are you doing differently? Because I can't stick to my macros. Like, no matter what, whether it was like, I would be cooking and I'd be like secretly just like eating, and I'm like, I'm not gonna track that. It's only like a little bit. Meanwhile, I was like definitely over my macros. Or I would have things like dried mangoes. And if you guys know, like dried mangoes, like the macros that I was on, I would be able to like not even have one, okay? So anytime I knew that I would be having something like dried mangoes that would put me way over my carbs, I would literally just stop tracking for the day and just say F it. So I'm like, well, I'm obviously gonna be over my macros, so there's not really like a point of continuing to track, so like I'll just do better tomorrow. And I found myself like every single day just messing it up. Whether it was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon and I ate something quote unquote like bad or off limits, or hi Ika, whether it was like midday, whether it was like the end of the day and I just really wanted to say screw it and I just wanted to binge, like I could not stick to my macros. And I kept on thinking to myself, like, what's wrong with you? Like, why can't you stick to it? And I kept telling myself, like, you just need to try harder. Like, today, you just gotta do better. You gotta be more motivated. But I was like, I am motivated. Like, I am a very motivated person. Like, I am a driven, committed person. I just could not understand why I couldn't stick to my macros. And so I was, I was kind of going back and forth in my mind. I'm like, okay, well, like maybe I need to just like eat more. Maybe I need to have like higher macros. Like, and I just came to this realization of like, you are thinking about food all day. You are anxious all week going to a social event. You are spending all week before going out for dinner looking at the menu ahead of time. You are stressing over calories. You are scared to eat your mom's crock pot healthy meal because you don't know what the macros are. And I was like, this isn't healthy. Like, I kid you not, my mom, when I used to live with my parents, my mom would make different recipes. And my parents are very healthy, and I'm very grateful for that. And my mom would make like a crock pot recipe, and she would put a little bit of this, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of this. And like, when I tracked my macros, it was like broccoli, chicken, rice. Like, so it was just like super easy to track, right? Hey, Stephanie. And so when my mom would make these crock pot meals, I'm like, I don't know what the macros are. I felt like I was like a mathematician in my kitchen, and I would get so mad at my mom. I'm like, why do you have to make all these recipes? Or my mom would bake. She would make like chocolate chip banana bread or whatever it is. And I'm like, why do you need to be baking? Why do you need to be making all these snacks? And it wasn't her fault. I just didn't trust myself around food, and I didn't know what the macros were, and I didn't want to mess up my macros. And I would get so mad at my mom for like making these meals, and it wasn't even her fault. Like I said, it was just because like I was just so stressed, and I would spend all day on Sunday. I kid you not. I'd be in the kitchen all day on Sunday, like meal prepping, and like I would put sticky notes. You guys, I'd put sticky notes on Tupperwares to be like Monday's breakfast, Tuesday's lunch, Wednesday snack. Like I would plan everything to a T, and I kid you not, come Tuesday afternoon, I'd say screw it. Oh my God, petition to rename MyFitnessPal my mental enemy. Yes, good freaking bye MyFitnessPal. And so anyways, I'd be spending all day on Sunday. Like, I'm kidding you. Like, my parents would be going out, my sister would be going out, my friends would be going out, and I'm like, I'm just gonna be in the kitchen planning my meals for the week. And then by Tuesday, I would like eat something bad or off limits, and I'd just say screw it. Or I wouldn't feel like the meals that I prepped. But it was such a mental battle because I was like, I was so rigid. So I knew exactly like what I was gonna eat throughout the week. Like my macros were spot on because I didn't trust myself. So I had to plan like days in advance and be like, you're just eating this. But then come that time, I'm like, I don't want this. But then I would like be forcing myself to eat it. And then because it wasn't what I actually wanted, I just say screw it and binge anyways. And so I recognized this is not healthy. This is not enjoyable. This is stressful. This is making me think about food all day long. I am irritable. I am stressed. Like it was even impacting the relationship that I had with my family because like I said, I would always be mad at my mom. Like, why are you cooking these meals that I can't track? Or, you know, my boyfriend at the time, now husband, he'd be like, do you want to go out for dinner? And I'm like, you can't just give me 5 minutes notice. Like I need a week's notice because then I gotta fix my macros for the week and then, you know, make sure that I can actually go out for dinner. And it was just ruining my life. Like, not to be so dramatic, but it really was. But it was the scariest thing to think about deleting MyFitnessPal. I was like, I don't even trust myself while I'm tracking. So imagine not being on plan. And I'm like, I don't even know when I'm hungry. I don't know when I'm full. I don't even know if I'm just like eating because I'm bored. I don't know if I actually want something sweet or if I'm just like trying to give myself more permission and freedom. Like I was so out of tune with my hunger and fullness cues. But that's because I wasn't listening to them. If you are out of touch with your hunger and fullness cues, it's probably because you're not listening to them and you're trying to follow a diet. When you're tracking your calories and macros, you're not listening to your hunger and fullness. There would be so many times at the end of the day, I would be done my macros at like 4 o'clock and I'm like, I'm freaking starving. But like, I don't have any macros left, not listening to my hunger and fullness. There would be times where it would be 7 o'clock at night and I'm like, I still have so much protein left, like I don't want anything else. And here I was like in the kitchen, like making myself egg whites and like protein shakes. And I'm like, I don't even want this, or like Greek yogurt with like protein powder. And I wasn't even hungry, but I'm like, gotta get my protein in, gotta stick to the macros. And I'm like, I don't even want this. And so there was just so many wrong things with tracking my food. Like, yes, it did get me to my goals, but I recognized I'm thinking about food so much more. This is stressing me out. I don't want to be 70 years old still like going to the restaurant with my scale and weighing and tracking and measuring my food. And thinking about having a family one day, I'm like, I would never want my kid to see their mom be dieting and like weighing her food and eating something differently than what my kids are eating. Like, I would not want that at all. So as scary as it was to think about deleting my FitnessPal, I was ready. I was done with dieting. I didn't want to weigh a single almond ever again. I just wanted to stop thinking about food. I wanted to just eat normally. I wanted to just wake up in the morning and like be able to just eat without going in my FitnessPal, without weighing my almond butter. Like, I just wanted to be able to trust myself. And the moment that I deleted my FitnessPal, the moment that I stopped dieting, the moment that I stopped weighing and obsessing over how much I was eating was actually when I stopped thinking about food all day. Was the moment that I was actually able to listen to my hunger and fullness cues because I was paying attention to them. I was listening to my body over some external factor like my FitnessPal. If right now you are thinking about food from the time that you wake up until the time that you go to bed, if you are anxious when you go out for dinner, if you are looking at the menu a week in advance, if your partner asks you to spontaneously go out for dinner and you are stressing, if you don't know if you're hungry, you're overeating, you don't know if you're hungry, you don't know if you're full, you don't know the difference between a craving or a binge urge, you don't know if you're boredom snacking or if you're actually hungry, you need to stop dieting. You don't need to be tracking your food. You got to heal your relationship with food. You're not broken. There's literally nothing wrong with you. When I felt broken and I thought like there might be something wrong with me because like why can everyone just stick to their macros like it's no problem? They didn't have an unhealthy relationship with food. They weren't binge eating. If you are binge eating, that is literally a sign that you are doing something that is unrealistic. If you are thinking about food all day long, that is a sign that you got to stop dieting. You know, so many of you guys are like telling me like, I don't know why I'm thinking about food all day long. And I'm like, okay, well, like, what are you doing? And it's like, well, you know, I'm trying to eat this many grams of protein or I'm tracking my food. And I'm like, that's why. I don't know why I'm binging, but like you're barely eating, right? So there's things that you're doing right now that is causing you to think about food. You're not broken. You are not broken. The only reason that you're thinking about food all day long is because you're either still dieting or you have a poor relationship with food. If you are still seeing food as good versus bad, then when you eat the cookie, you're going to feel guilty. And when you feel guilty, you're going to try to compensate the next day. And the cycle repeats itself. So, you don't need another diet. You don't need to be more disciplined, more motivated. You don't got to try harder. You don't got to keep promising yourself that tomorrow is going to be better. You need to heal your relationship with food. And the moment that you heal your relationship with food is the moment you're going to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. You're going to go to a restaurant, order what you want without thinking twice. You're going to be able to enjoy all delicious food without obsessing over the calories and like, what are the macros? Like, should I eat this? Should I not eat this? I've had so many clients that I work with that said they got their life back. One of my clients, she was always so scared of baking because anytime she would bake, that would always spiral her into a binge. And now she's able to bake with her daughter without this fear of binging because I helped her heal her relationship with food. One of my clients, she lost a bunch of weight through tracking and weighing herself. Obviously started binging, and then we started working together. And now she not only doesn't binge, she's not weighing herself. She's not tracking her food. Yes, Jenny said the Academy changed my life completely. Jenny is one of my past clients. And oh, Jenny, I love you so much. I'm so glad that you shared that. Thank you so much. But the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because you're not stuck. You know, like you're not stuck. Like I used to think like maybe other people can stop dieting, but like I can't. Like I'm gonna gain 1 million pounds, like I'm the exception, like there's something wrong with me, like everyone else can have a healthy relationship with food, but like I can't. And that's wrong. That's wrong. When you heal your relationship with food, you can do all the things that people who have a healthy relationship with food can do. So if you right now want to stop thinking about food, if you right now want to get your mental real estate back and actually enjoy your life, be present with your family without obsessing over food and calories, I've created my program, Eat Normally. I literally called it Eat Normally because all I ever wanted to do was to just eat like a normal person. And so many of you guys message me, you're like, I just want to eat normally. Like I just want to eat when I'm hungry and stop when I'm full. So this program, Eat Normally, is designed to help you eat intuitively. So you can get back in tune with your hunger and fullness cues. So you can eat when you're hungry and you can stop when you're full. You can literally stop thinking about food all day long. You can stop obsessing over calories. You can eat and know exactly how much to eat without tracking your food. You can trust yourself. You're gonna know exactly when you're hungry. You're gonna know the difference between true hunger, a physical hunger, a craving, whether you're emotionally eating, you're gonna know the difference. You're gonna be able to fully trust yourself to know how much to eat without weighing your food. And this will give you your freedom back. This will give you your freedom back. I can't tell you how incredible it is to like wake up in the morning and make like pancakes for my husband and I and just like put the almond butter on, grab whatever fruit I want, add maple syrup if I want, or if I don't have to have it. Like it just gives you so much freedom. So if you are done with dieting, you know you're ready for a better relationship with food, you know you want to stop thinking about food all day long, this is the program to join. We start this program, Eat Normally. It begins at the end of the month. If you are wanting to join, you're ready for a better relationship with food, just message me, Eat Normally, and I will send you all of the details. I am so excited to support you in having a better relationship with food and no longer thinking about food all day long. So just message me, Eat Normally. Some of you guys have already joined. I'm so excited. Brennan just joined the other day. So I'm so excited. So thank you guys for being here. I cannot wait to support you. I cannot wait to give you a step-by-step process of how to actually eat intuitively without spiraling out of control, where you can still prioritize your health and fitness goals, where you can still feel really good in your own skin. All this is going to happen inside of this program. So excited. All right, you guys, have the most amazing day ever, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.